All right. I think we can go ahead and get started now. Um, okay. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a good weekend. So today's webinar is about bicycle and pedestrian hazard reports for Santa Cruz County. And it's a system that was created by the Santa Cruz County Regional Transportation Commission, or RTC for short. And I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a transportation planning technician, and I'm joined by my coworkers, Amanda and Max. You guys are on. You want to give a brief introduction?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Max Friedman. I'm a transportation planner at the RTC, and I also staff the Bicycle Advisory Committee.
And I'm Amanda Marino. I'm a transportation planner as well at the RTC, and I staff the Elderly and Disabled Transportation Advisory Committee for the Regional Transportation Commission. And I think Jason, oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah, sorry. All right. So yeah, let's get started. So here's a brief overview of our agenda today. So we have a couple interactive portions, and then I'm going to give an introduction to the hazard reporting system. I'll go through how to fill out the form, and then we'll have some time at the end for feedback or if you have any questions. So we're going to start out with one of the interactive portions. So I'm going to open up a poll here in a second, and I would like you guys to try to guess which jurisdiction is responsible for the area that's pictured here in the map and in the photo on the right. So I'll go ahead and open it up. Give me a minute here. And this location is north of the city of Santa Cruz. It's the bike path that connects to Wilder Ranch, and it goes from the ranch pretty much to city limits. So go ahead and take a couple minutes to provide your answer. Give a couple more seconds here. Okay, so we got a lot of County of Santa Cruz and a few City of Santa Cruz, but this one is actually maintained by Caltrans. It's kind of confusing. You would think it would be the city or the county, but because of its proximity to the highway, it's actually maintained by Caltrans. So this is the second location. It's near Pleasure Point, and it's the crosswalk at Portola Drive and 30th Avenue. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me end the first one. All right, so let's take a couple of minutes here, and if you guys could provide an answer. All right, so we got a few City of Santa Cruz and a few County of Santa Cruz. This one actually is maintained by the County of Santa Cruz. It's kind of right on the cusp. That's why I picked it. Thank you. All right, and we have a couple more here. This is the third location. It's the Arana Gulch Bike Path. It's near Santa Cruz Harbor. So I'm going to go ahead and open the third poll. All right, go ahead and give your answers. All right, yeah, most of you guessed correctly. The city of Santa Cruz actually maintains this one. And this is going to be the last one, and then we'll move on. So this one is near Watsonville. It is the bike lanes along East Lake Drive, and it is near Bridge Street. You can go ahead. couple more seconds here. All right, yeah, this is a tricky one. So this one is actually maintained by Caltrans. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing because it is so close to the city limits, but Caltrans maintains this one. All right, so just a brief introduction to the hazard reporting system. The RTC developed a system to allow residents to report hazards and bicyclists, or hazards for bicyclists and pedestrians through the web form, and it's hosted on the RTC's website. The main purpose was to proactively enhance the safety and accessibility of Santa Cruz County's transportation network for bicyclists and pedestrians. And why did we create the system? There was a need for an effective and easy system for bicyclists and pedestrians to report hazards that prevent them from safely going where they need to go. And the cities, county, and Caltrans do not proactively look for these hazards, but they rely on complaints from the public to prioritize their work. So here's a list of some common hazards that you can report using this form. Some of the more common ones are potholes in the bike lane, raised or cracked sidewalks, and also any sort of traffic signal issues, such as the signal not turning green for bikes. And then what should the form not be used for? Emergencies is one of the most important ones. If you encounter an emergency out there, you should just call 911. And also new transportation project ideas. For this, it's more efficient for you to just provide your feedback directly to the studies and plans. Usually these teams hold specific outreach events, so it's just more efficient to contact them directly through these events. And also any immediate parking enforcement issues, just because of the timely nature of these hazards, it's better to just contact the enforcement agency directly. And for the most part, if you're in one of the city limits, you're gonna just contact that city's police department. And anything other than that, you're gonna reach out to the CHP. You can use these reports if you come across an area that you think could use more red paint or signage to make it safer. Okay, so we're already on our second poll here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, and I would like you guys to select one or any hazards that you're seeing out there while you're riding around the city or walking. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it now. I'll give you a couple minutes. All right, it's pretty spread across the board here, but the most common ones, it looks like, are cracks and potholes in the bikeway and sidewalks, and plant overgrowth or interference, which it makes a lot of sense. I see a lot of those reports. So thank you for providing your input. So now I'm gonna briefly go through how to fill out the form itself. So there's a QR code up on the right, and you can fill the form out using your computer or your mobile device. You could go to the URL at the top here to go directly to there. It's hosted on the RTC's website. So this is the first portion of the form. You're going to either select a bicycle or pedestrian hazard. You're gonna select either one or any of the hazard descriptions that apply to the report. And then again, for any immediate enforcement or parking issues, you can just reach out directly to the enforcement agency, and we have all the phone numbers listed here. And then you're gonna go on to location. You can use cross streets or street addresses for this one. You can also use landmarks or even GPS coordinates if you're more comfortable with that. And then you're going to fill in the additional details portion. And this one's pretty important because this is where you are going to put any information you think would be valuable to the jurisdiction who's responsible for it. So this is where a lot of the description comes from. And then we added this date field down here pretty recently. So this is the date that you encountered the hazard. And it's optional, but it can be really helpful for the jurisdictions to know when the actual hazard was encountered, especially for one that was encountered in the past that you just didn't have time to fill out a report for at the time. It's good to have that information. And then you can, of course, upload a photo here, which is also very helpful. And then the last section is for contact information. You're going to put your first and last name. We do require an email address just for any questions we may have about the hazard or any correspondence. And then you can go ahead and select your preferred contact method. Most people choose email, but you could select phone or to not be contacted at all. And then you're going to click the CAPTCHA at the bottom, and then you can go ahead and submit the hazard report. So what happens after you submit the report? RTC staff receives the report, we review it and send it to the correct jurisdiction. We add it to a tracker, and then that jurisdiction will provide a response. And the times you get a response can vary depending on the complexity of the hazard. Sometimes simple ones, you can get a response that day if it's just like debris in the bikeway or on the sidewalk, but the more complex ones could take up to 2 weeks or even longer to get a response. But if we don't receive a response within 2 weeks, we send a follow-up email and we will continue follow-up until we do get a response. So what are the benefits of using RTC's hazard reporting system? The main one is public accountability. We summarize these hazard reports and include them in the agenda packets for the Elderly and Disabled Transportation Advisory Committee, as well as the Bicycle Advisory Committee for members of the public to review. Also, using the RTC's hazard reporting system eliminates the need to know which jurisdiction you're in. This can be really helpful for when you're out and about, you're on your bike or you're walking around, you don't know who to contact. Also, the RTC tracks the hazard report for follow-up automatically. And the data that we collect from these can be used to influence future transportation planning project ideas. So here is an example of the hazard report summaries that we include in the Elderly and Disabled Transportation Advisory Committee, as well as the Bicycle Advisory Committee agenda packets. For the most part, it's just all the information you put into the form, and then we also track when it was sent to the jurisdiction and when we received a response, as well as what the response was and any follow-up actions. All right, so then Amanda, you wanna talk a little bit about the E&D TAC?
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Jason. So the Elderly and Disabled Transportation Advisory Committee, otherwise known as the E&D TAC, is a committee that advises the Regional Transportation Commission, local jurisdictions, and other transportation agencies on specialized transportation needs for seniors and people with disabilities in Santa Cruz County. Some of the key roles and responsibilities that they have are to review and advise the county and the four cities, local jurisdictions, and other organizations on project designs and programs, specifically with pedestrian and transit elements, and especially for projects receiving funding through the RTC. Sometimes agencies often present their projects and programs to the E&D TAC, even though they don't receive RTC funding, just to gather input from this group of experts in this field. Also, each year, the E&D TAC identifies and advocates for unmet transit needs for seniors and people with disabilities in Santa Cruz County. The committee also serves as the local social services transportation advisory council for Santa Cruz County, and they regularly seek input from transit dependent and disadvantaged people, like I mentioned before, seniors, people with disabilities, and low-income individuals, and also the youth. And if you're interested in getting involved, there's a QR code on the right-hand side of the PowerPoint that'll bring you to the E&D TAC webpage that's hosted on the RTC website. If you're interested in attending the meetings, they're publicly held at 1:30 p.m. on the second Tuesday of every even-numbered month. So, and our next meeting is next month, actually, it is October 14th. So if you're interested in joining, you can sign up as well on the E&D TAC webpage to receive emails. And if you're interested in joining, we also have a application where you could submit to us for the staff to review, as well as the E&D TAC to review as well. And that's it for me. And if you have
Awesome.
any questions, you're welcome to contact me about it after in the Q&A as well.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. And Max, do you want to talk about the Bicycle Advisory Committee?
Sure, yeah. So similar to E&D TAC, the Bicycle Advisory Committee advises the RTC, local jurisdictions, and other transportation agencies on bicycle-related transportation needs in Santa Cruz County. So within that, some of the key responsibilities are reviewing and advising the county, 4 cities, and other organizations on project designs and programs with bicycle elements, specifically for projects that are receiving funding through the RTC. So the advisory committee sort of either recommends or doesn't recommend funding to the RTC for these projects. And then they review proposed bicycle-related policies, programs, projects, plans, funding applications, and legislation. So essentially anything that relates or could impact biking in Santa Cruz County. They provide input on existing roadway and bikeway conditions affecting cycling. So this is where the hazard reports come in. This is typically on the consent agenda and can be pulled to discuss further if it pertains to one of the items or if they want to make it an item in and of itself. And then they coordinate with local jurisdictions and bicycle-related organizations to promote cycling projects and programs. So with all that being said, if you want to get involved, meetings are generally held at 5:30 p.m. on the second Monday of even-numbered months at the RTC office. Our next meeting is October 13th, coming up here at the RTC office. There's also a Zoom option available as well. And these are open to the public, so anyone is welcome to attend, even if you're not an active member. If you do want to become a member, there are some vacant seats, and that QR code in the top right corner will take you to our website where you can sign up for one of the vacant seats, or you can just join the mailing list to receive notifications on the Bicycle Advisory Committee. And yeah, with that, I will hand it back to Jason.
All right. Thank you, Max. Okay, so we just have one more slide here before we're going to open it up to questions. So we wanted to take the opportunity to promote the Week Without Driving Challenge. It actually starts today and goes through October 5th. So during that time period, you can log any of your alternative transportation trips, and you will be automatically entered for a chance to win raffle prizes, which include gift cards to grocery stores and local restaurants around Santa Cruz County. And you can use the QR code on the bottom right here, or you could just go directly to the page on Go Santa Cruz County.